Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in.
Hello and welcome back to episode 124 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. I've lost my voice.
I know, it's great.
I don't even know how.
Not so great for a podcast, but...
No,
but
I'm all right, I'll soldier on, it's fine.
Yeah, talking of soldiering on.
Oh, God.
No, I'm just another week of it, really. I've reduced the amount of painkillers I'm taking.
Good.
But I am still having to take painkillers.
Yeah.
Certain things are still a bit of a grind, but there we go. We get on with it, don't we?
We do, yes. We soldier on.
What's on this week's show, Siân?
Well, on this week's show, we talk about Sam Dalby's loan at Dundee United. He's doing really well. Arthur's wrist.
Yeah. Sounds like a sort of like point of interest somewhere
Arthur's
in the UK.
Wrist. Yeah, doesn't it?
Have you been to Arthur's Wrist? I think maybe because, isn't there a place called Arthur's Seat? Anyway, crack on. Sorry.
Our final EFL Trophy group stage against Port Vale.
Yeah.
Our League One match against Stockport County. It's not been a great week. And a look ahead to League One action with our home match against Exeter. And the brilliant quiz.
Yeah, let's crack on with the news. There's a lot to go through this week. So I think Arthur first. Mm-hmm. At the Mansfield game, he went down injured for a little bit, didn't he? He was holding his wrist. He had a little bit of sort of treatment on the pitch and then he got on with it. I think it was in the second half.
I think so.
Yeah, it was. And, and then he carried on with the game. It transpires after that he's actually broken his wrist. A few people were sort of querying how could he carry on when he had a broken wrist. I think broken wrists... There's quite a large spectrum for a broken wrist. It can come across as quite annoying initially and sort of like uncomfortable and and then obviously there's the ones where your wrist is hanging off and he was the better end of the scale, I would assume.
But he's still going to be off for at least 6 weeks. Yeah,
I mean, if it was another part of your body, you could sort of argue, but a goalkeeper needs his hands, doesn't he?
If he'd broken his leg, he still wouldn't be able to.
No,
I don't think any part of the goalkeeper broken.
I suppose. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about really.
If a player breaks his finger, he can crack on with it.
Yes, a goalkeeper's a bit more restricted if anything sort of breaks.
Yeah.
So he's out for 6 weeks. Callum Burton in. We've got a ready replacement. It's not like we're scrambling around wondering what we're going to do. It is a big blow.
It is a blow.
I mean, we obviously... we've got our own fantasy EFL league. Arthur is the top scoring goalkeeper, or before this weekend anyway, he was the top scoring goalkeeper across all leagues. So,
as when you say scoring, because obviously people in America and Australia are like, well, goalkeepers.
No, I mean points wise. So for clean sheets, saves, all that sort of stuff, top scoring goalkeeper across all leagues. So it just, it is a big blow. I suppose the question is how much of them clean sheets is down to the defence and how much is down to Arthur. That's hard to sort of say really where we're at. But at the end of the day, great goalkeeper. Gutted to be losing him for a bit. Thought Callum played...
He's got Christmas off, though.
He's got Christmas off, yeah, I suppose. I thought Callum played well on Saturday. We'll talk about him a little bit more in a bit. I thought he was all right. I thought he had a bit of a ropey-ish start. I didn't think he was great right at the start, but I thought he grew into it, made some great saves.
He's probably nervous.
Yeah, definitely.
Because literally... They are massive shoes to fill, aren't they, with that Okonkwo? Because he's so, literally.
Yeah, literally,
Yeah, because he's so, great and he's been an amazing goalkeeper for us, at the end of last season. Weirdly enough, he'll be coming back in January and that's when he's...
Hopefully.
Okay, 6 weeks.
Hopefully.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6 weeks.
You never know with a recovery, though. You know, look at someone like Rob Lainton, you know, who had an injury, he was coming back from it, you know, and he had a setback. I'm not saying Arthur and Rob are the same, but, you know, he's had a setback, you know, when he was trying to come back, and then, you know, that sort of pushed everything a little bit further down the line. So you never know.
He's young.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
things heal better when you're younger.
Fingers crossed. So get well soon, Arthur. I think.
Yes.
I think he will be a huge miss.
So exciting news! Ready for the Christmas period. I'm not sure whether it is just for the Christmas period or whether it's for a longer duration. I'm not sure. But we have now got a club shop. When I say we, I mean the club, Wrexham AFC. I've got a club shop in Eagles Meadow, which is very good. I'm not sure how big it is, but I'm assuming they're quite large. I think it's bigger than the club shop that's at the ground at the moment. Yeah.
So for anyone not from Wrexham, Eagles Meadow is sort of like a very small sort of like shopping centre sort of thing in the middle of town, and
absolute waste of money.
There are quite a few empty shops in there, so they don't think they had really any trouble picking up a sort of empty shop there. But a good thing, like you said, we're not sure. We saw a few pictures on social media. It's not open yet, but it's very much coming. A few years ago, Wrexham did have a pop-up shop on Eagles Meadow for the Christmas period, so we're not really sure if this is another one of them. But we were sort of weirdly, we were talking about this, weren't we, about a week or two ago. About now at the ground, they've basically gated off the main car park where the club shop is, and it's gated off just for players and staff. So if you want to go to the club shop, you can't, because there's nowhere to park.
You can park on the road.
Yeah, but that's usually because it's next to the university. A lot of the university sort of like students and staff tend to park on there as well. Yeah. So it's really hard to get to the club shop. Me personally, because my patience is really thin most of the time, I at the moment I can't be bothered going to the club shop to look at anything, because I know there's such a hassle with parking. So this is great. I'd love to see it long term.
Maybe it's going to be long term, because obviously the plans are to have the club shop in the new stand.
It is.
But obviously that's obviously, you know, still waiting to be done. So maybe it's going to be a short term thing, but
with a view to
extending it into, like, obviously until we've got the because obviously they're going to be changing. I'm assuming they're going to be changing that stand as well.
They will do.
So
they will do.
It makes sense to have a shop now somewhere else that's accessible for people. I mean, when you're saying, you know, we're able-bodied. Well, at the moment you're not, but you know, there's people that are in wheelchairs, people who struggle to walk without being aided and stuff like that, and so that can be a major problem for somebody who wants to go to the club shop, because it's like, you know, they're having to park so far away, and I don't think you can park in the university. So it is a really good thing, and I'm excited to go and have a look, actually. So we may do like a video on it or something.
Oh, maybe we'll have a little
we'll have a little wander around,
show everyone what it's like. Look, a quick one, just talking about social media there. We are now, as pretty much everyone else is, we're on Blue Sky. So we've set up an account on Blue Sky. Lots of listeners have already sort of migrated over and have sort of following us on there. We try and follow as many people back as we can as well. But yeah, head over to Blue Sky. If you don't know what Blue Sky is, it's just basically a new social media platform.
I don't think it's a new one.
No, it has been around for a bit, but it's very much come to the forefront recently because of all the sort of issues with X, and people don't like X anymore, and so people are starting to migrate across to Blue Sky. So yeah, if you find us there, and you can follow us. And
obviously we were talking the other day about what would you call, like you call, you know, on Instagram you call it a post.
A bluey.
Twitter, on Twitter you call it a post, but we like, a tweet you call it. Well, so yeah, if you post on Blue Sky, you post on Bluey.
Maybe. Maybe. Look, just something quick to touch on. We're going to talk a bit more about Scottish football in a minute, because we're going to talk about Sam Dalby, but rumours have come out last week that Rangers in Scotland are keeping close tabs on Ryan Barnett. And they're very interested in potentially making a move for him in January.
No.
Look, it would be a huge blow.
It would absolutely
if
be
anything happened. There's two ways of looking at this. I think the staunch Wrexham fan in everyone goes, why would he want to leave? This is a great project. He's loved here. And, you know, we're definitely moving forward and we're building towards something. All of them are very valid points. The problem with someone like Rangers coming in for him is their stadium is massive. So playing in front of a lot of fans, not just your 12,000 that you get at the racecourse, you got a chance to play in front of 40, 50,000 if you go there. Also international football. No, sorry, international, what am I talking about? European football. You know, the chance to go and play in Europe, travel around Europe, different countries playing in a European competition. There's that as well. I think it's a big draw. And if I'm honest, I'm a little bit worried about how much it's going to turn his head, if I'm honest. I genuinely believe if a championship club came in for Ryan Barnett, I think he would turn it down. But the chance of playing European football and such a big club like Rangers, yes, it's Scottish football, and a lot of people sort of look down their noses a little bit at Scottish football. But I don't know. I am a little bit. If it is true, and an offer comes in, I would be a little bit concerned about, because you know we don't know. We don't know him. We don't know what his aspirations are. We don't know if he's going, no, I'm happy here. I love it here, and I feel like we're building towards something. Nothing can prize me away. Or is he going, look, I think I've done pretty well here. I'm not sure how much further I can go with this. There's a big opportunity here. Let's go and do that. So I don't know, if I'm honest. I am slightly concerned, but yeah, who knows? It's hard to tell. I don't want to dwell on it too much. I just wanted to bring it up because it's a wait and see sort of thing, isn't it? Obviously no official offers have come in because the transfer window's closed. So if he was going to go, it would be January when the transfer window opens for the month of January, or it would wait until next summer before any sort of offer come in, or they might, they're not just going to have a list of one player. They're going to have 5, 6, 7, 8 players on that list. He might be he might be quite low down on that list, and they might be targets they've got in mind that higher up the list than him. He might not be on the list at all. And this might just be pure media speculation.
The thing that you have to think about, though, if he did go to Rangers, would he get, he is getting game time every single league game at the moment, home and away. But when you've got to think, when you go, yes, he's doing really, really well at the moment, and he has done since he's been with us. But if he goes to Rangers, is he going to be getting game time week in, week out? That's a kind of, that's a chance that he's got to think about that, because at the end of the day, it depends what's more important. I know this is going to sound really silly, but is the money important, or is it just the passion of playing football? Yeah,
I get that. And
so I think, who knows?
Yeah, I think,
we don't know.
People can always have... I think money's always important.
Well, yeah, it's important.
Regardless of who it is. And I think once you're sort of like a Premier League level and you're earning 50, 60, 100, 150, 200,000 pound a week, whatever it might be, perhaps the money becomes less important. Maybe, I don't know, because, the difference between 10 grand a week and 25 grand a week, as an example, that's a big jump. Or from 8 grand a week to 20 grand a week, that's a big jump. As opposed to 250 grand a week to 275 grand a week, that feels like a little bit of a drop in the ocean. Do you know what I mean? So perhaps at someone like Ryan Barnett's level, the money is more important. The career doesn't last forever.
No.
You've got to take what you can get. We also don't know what he's on, and we also don't know if Rangers come in what sort of package they put. So look, it's all pie in the sky. I'd be gutted.
Hopefully, it's pie in the sky.
Yeah, I'd be gutted if he went, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he went. I think, but I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed either.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a strange one, really. You were asking me, you know, what is the level of Scottish football if you had to compare it to? That's a really hard question to answer.
What's the word you used yesterday?
I don't know. What word did I use when I was trying to explain it? I think for me,
Not innocuous. Is that what you said?
No, I didn't.
I don't even know what that means.
I think it's hard because there are players who play in Scottish football who move to play for Premier League clubs, for example. But there are also players who move from Premiership Scottish clubs to go and play for League One clubs or Championship clubs or League Two clubs, as even happened in the past. So it's hard to try and
quantify.
Yeah, that's the word I used, I think. Yeah, it is hard to sort of, you know, give you an example. I think the top end of the Premiership is probably a higher end, maybe Championship, lower end Premier League team. Anything in the middle and down below, you're probably Championship, maybe League One. I don't know. I don't want to offend anyone from Scotland, but it's hard to sort of answer that question, really.
Talking of Scottish football...
Well, that's a nice little segue, isn't it?
It's a little segue. So, obviously, as you all know, our striker, Sam Dalby, was sent out on loan to a Scottish Premiership team. It's just Dundee, isn't it?
No, it's Dundee United.
Dundee United. What's the big one?
The big one?
Isn't there like two different...
There's two Dundees, yeah.
Yeah.
Dundee and Dundee United.
So Sam is with Dundee United.
Yes, yes.
You were going to like...
Don't mix it. I was going to jump in then.
Yeah. Obviously, Ryan's just explained how it compares to English
I
leagues.
didn't really.
No, you didn't. You kind of did.
Yeah.
You kind of comparatorised. Is that a word?
No, that absolutely is not a word.
I'm not well. It's not my fault. So he's been doing really well.
He is. I'm not surprised. But I sort of am surprised a little bit at the same time. He scored 4 in the last 5 games. Doing really well. He scored a last-minute penalty, turn a draw for Dundee United against maybe Hibs. I can't remember who it was. Yeah, he's doing really well, and he's starting games. They had a sort of out-and-out striker, but they've now gone with sort of like a 3 up front, and Sam's in the middle of that 3. He's doing really well. And I think I always thought Sam was younger than he actually is, because he turns 25 next month. And I suppose the reason I sort of threw this in is because he is doing so well at the moment, and perhaps we are maybe struggling a little bit up front.
Yeah.
So I suppose the question is does Sam fit back into the Wrexham team based on his current form? I suppose that that again, that's hard to say. But he's found some goal-scoring form, and he's found some regular... There'll be a load of people out there going, oh, shut up, he's only scored 4 in 5 games. It's not like he's gone on some mad run of scoring 15 in 20 or anything like that. But I've watched him a few times. He looks like a little bit of a different player to me. He looks better than when I've seen him play with us. So I think this loan spell is helping him.
Yeah.
And I think
which is what it was for.
It is what it's designed for. And I think there is a real possibility at the moment for anybody who dismisses this. Just go and watch just go and watch him play. Because
there will be people who disagree with you, which is
fine. They will, but a lot of them won't have watched him play, and they'll just be basing their opinions on what he was like when he was with us.
Yeah.
He, for me, I can see real development and growth in him as a player, and it is a very interesting question about what happens. Because I'm pretty sure it was a season-long loan that he went on. So it is an interesting question when January comes round. If we're still struggling a little bit, do you pull someone like that back? Do you let him continue on his growth journey and leave him there till the end of the season? And then do you bring him back? Do you bring him back at all? You know,
yeah, I mean, when players go out on loan, I mean, how often do they? I know there's been instances where you do bring them back, but you know, how often do loan players sort of like, right, okay, you've been out on loan, we haven't really missed you. You know,
it does happen.
Yeah,
it does happen. Swindon, for example, last season, I can't remember the players' names. They had 2 players, and they were both on loan, and they were absolutely. They had one from Bradford and one from MK Dons. The names have just escaped me, but they were smashing in goals left, right. Dan Kemp, that was one of them. Anyway, they were smashing in goals left, right, and centre. And the January come. And their parent clubs, one Bradford, one MK Dons, they went, we're having them back. And so, you know, it does happen. You know, players can become more settled. Pressure's off a little bit when you're playing for a team that isn't your team.
Yeah.
You know, you're on loan and it's sort of like, maybe there's a little bit less pressure there. Maybe there's more pressure because you're going to have to prove to your team back home that you deserve to come back. I'm not sure. That's a hard one to sort of say, but yeah, look, he's doing really well at the moment, and for me, he's one that we need to
keep an eye on. Just
keep an eye on and remember he's still our player.
Yeah.
Because I think if he keeps developing the way that I've seen him develop in the last couple of months and watched him play, I think if he keeps on that road, by the end of the season, we might have a great player to bring back. And we brought him in for a reason initially. You know, Park had seen something in him that maybe we had, you know, he was a little bit hit and miss at times.
Yeah.
Some games he'd go, oh, he's great. And then he'd have a couple of games where you go, come on, mate. I mean, it's, you know, it's just not working. So I think it's definitely worth keeping an eye on him, you know, and just keep, like I say, keep reminding ourselves that he is still ours.
Yes.
So yeah, so well done, Sam. Anyway,
yes.
Hopefully we'll see you back at some point. Anyway, but there we go. Look, if you'd like to support the show, you can buy us a coffee. Our page is buymeacoffee.com/me-the-wife.
Exciting things in the pipeline.
Yeah, we've got some exciting things. I know we say this loads and then nothing seems to happen.
Oh, it's happening.
It is happening, just quite slowly. We've got a complete revamp of the show. I mean, the sort of...
Content's not going to change.
Content's not going to change. The essence of the show will stay the same, but we're working quite hard to get everything done in the background, so yeah, we're quite excited to show you that moving forward. I'm gonna do the I'm gonna do a fancy EFL update. Top 3. I'm only going to do the top 2 this week. First is Ben Parker. Second, Susan Jones.
Would you like me to say the third?
No, we'll just move on, I think.
Well done, Christian.
Yeah, Christian's in third. I had a really bad week. I was gutted because there was clearly people in the league who forgot that it was an international break and there was no championship games. A lot of the League One games were off. I wasn't one of them people. I knew there was so I built my team based on the fact that I knew who there was. Managed to captain a player who had gone off on international duty from League Two. I don't know how I'd missed that, but yeah, so I don't know. And the players
trying to make excuses.
The players I had in just didn't play very well.
Well done, all 3 of you.
Yes, well done.
Let's talk about Port Vale. So,
very briefly though, because this was such a joke.
What's it called? A dummy.
Dead rubber.
Dead rubber. Yeah, the commentator used that as well on when
he did. Look, it is and it isn't a dead rubber because it's pointless in the sense of both teams had already qualified. Mm-hmm. Although the team that finished top of the group would get a home game in the next round. So it is worthwhile topping the group, but at the same time, if you'd have lost it, it's not the end of the world. It was one of them.
So when they announced the team, Will Boyle was announced as captain. So we were all like, oh, this is good, this is brilliant. And then they all came out
apart from Will Boyle.
Will Boyle wasn't there, and Max Cleworth was wearing the captain's armband, which I thought was really good. I thought that was really nice for Max.
Yeah.
It shows that he has been quite an integral, important part of the team this season and last season. So I thought that was a really nice thing for him to have.
Future captain, anyway. 100%.
You've always said that.
100% future captain. So it's good when the opportunity presents itself. Yeah. It's good that he gets a little bit of experience of being the captain.
So the outfit check, the fit check. So they were obviously wearing a red shirt, and they were wearing black shorts and black socks. This was a bit of a weird combination, but Mark Griffiths on the commentary basically said, I think it was Mark, it might have been Mia or Andy, I'm not sure. But basically it was due to financial reasons. There'll be loads of people going, what?
Yeah, I know.
Financial reason. But, you know, at the end of the day, Wrexham is a business. Wrexham AFC is a business, and you can't just go throwing money around. So basically, it was due to having all the badges and all that kind of stuff. So that's why they chose to wear they wanted to wear the red top. And the black shorts, obviously.
It's so odd, though.
It was weird. What did somebody said? It was like, well, I don't know if it was you actually, saying it gives me. No, I don't think it was you.
Man United.
Man United vibes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely a bit of a Man United.
90s Man United vibes.
We have wore that combo before.
I've never seen it. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
No, it was all right. Yeah, I wasn't, you know, it was, yeah.
It didn't hinder play or anything, did it?
No.
So.
Look, first starts for Josh Adam and Matty James.
Yes.
Nice to see Josh Adam, to be honest. I forgot he was there, if I'm perfectly honest. He played all right. Matty James was all right.
Matty James, are they both on loan? I can't remember, because I know obviously John Daddy...
No, we've got them both.
Have we?
Yeah, so they were both released from their previous club, so we haven't signed them, we've just brought them in as frees.
Oh, of course, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Look, we lost Bolton after 10 minutes as well, so we'd lost Will Boyle, we lost Bolton after 10 minutes. Some may argue not the worst injuries to get, because potentially they're not making huge impacts on the first team in the league.
But it's still...
still not nice to get injuries. Burton went off at half-time, which confused everyone a little bit. Mark out. We thought, oh, God, it's a third injury from the game.
And we didn't know about Okonkwo at this point.
No, I know. So, I think what transpires from that is they just wanted to give Mark Howard his 50th appearance, which was really nice. So congrats to Mark for getting his 50th appearance.
And he did all right, to be fair.
He did all right. He made some decent saves, to be honest. Max got a goal, captain for the night, got a goal, made it 1-0. Mullin came on, got some minutes as well.
He did.
Sort of a bit later on. I think it was 66 minutes. We nearly sort of got till the end and winning 1-0, but they equalised. That was a really good goal, actually, 82 minutes in, to make it 1-1. But yeah, it finished 1-1. That meant we finished top of the group, because, and then they do this stupid thing now where they have a penalty. If it's a draw, they have a penalty shootout. The winner of the penalty shootout gets a bonus point.
Again, pointless penalty shootout.
So pointless, because Port Vale couldn't go top by winning that bonus point.
Yeah.
And to make it an even bigger farce, it was a penalty shootout that meant nothing in front of an empty stand. And I mean, you're sitting there going, I mean...
That was the decision of Port Vale captain, though, wasn't it? He decided to play that end, I think.
I mean, it was just pointless. Pointless. I don't know why we didn't let Callum Burton take a penalty, to be perfect. Oh, he wasn't even on, was he? Mark Griffiths, oh my God, Mark Howard.
Should have let Mark Griffiths take it.
Why not? Why not? But yeah, we missed 3 out of 4. Doesn't bode well for any future penalty shootouts that we might be in.
I don't think they would usually. It was people that aren't usually in.
Really, I don't know. There was. I think they were taking penalties because I think they took it seriously. Like they're the ones who would take penalties.
Yeah.
You know, sort of. You know, only Mullin scored,
which we were glad about, but. Like we were listening to the commentary with Mia and Mark Griffiths and Andy.
Yeah.
Well, Andy was there, wasn't he?
Yeah,
and they were saying that, you know, Mullin needs something to kind of boost his confidence and stuff like that. But it's not like he hasn't scored any goals at all. But,
no.
And the goal that he scored in the EFL Trophy, I think it was the first round,
first game.
I meant, sorry, yeah. He didn't celebrate. He wasn't happy. So then he scored again, and I think in a league game. I think has he scored in a league game?
I don't know.
So so basically, them saying that he needs a bit of confidence. But he scored his penalty, and I don't think scoring a penalty is going to do anything for your confidence.
No, look,
because you're like 1-on-1. It's a 50-50 chance whether it's going to go in. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I think he needs more minutes on the pitch to get that confidence back up.
Maybe
to where it was.
They were saying, look, he needs something to kickstart him, to boost his confidence. Scoring a penalty, that'll go some way towards it.
Yeah.
And then if we flip to the Stockport game, just to boost his confidence even more, Parky dropped him and put him on the bench.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was shocked by that, actually.
I think it's been a long time coming, if I'm honest. I think a few people have been waiting for it to happen. And I think perhaps he's sort of ridden a wave of what he's done before a little bit. Not to be awful. I think some of the stuff, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit later on when we talk about sort of the second half of the game. He does more than goals, but what we're so used to seeing him doing
scoring
is goals.
Yeah.
And that's not happening for him for one reason or another. Look, we knew the back injury was going to be a hindrance and it was going to be a problem, and it would take him a while to get right again. But as yet, it hasn't happened. So I think continuing to try and beat that drum of, let's just keep starting him and hoping he scores, and he's not, then, I think something had to give in there. And we had to try and make a change and try and do something a little bit different. So Callum Burton got his first league start for us. Bodvarsson came in for Mullin, also his first league start as well. To be fair to him, he nearly had an unreal start. He tried an overhead kick after about 30 seconds.
Do you know what annoys me with the overhead kicks and stuff like that? Sometimes I think, are they doing it just to show off, or is there actual tactics behind it? But it didn't go in anyway.
No, it didn't. It went horribly wide. But if he'd have caught it right, that would have been a brilliant start for us. It was a bit of a frantic start, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure we were that great in the first.
I thought we were all right at the start. I think
it was a bit scrappy in the first bit.
It was a bit frantic. Like I said, it was a little bit back and forth, all that sort of thing. But I thought early doors we were all right. What tends to happen when we play Stockport is
we lose.
We set up a certain way. And then where you have this little bit of a frantic start, both teams trying to suss each other out, and then they seem to suss us out, and then they sort of, Dave Challoner as a manager is very good tactically. He makes these slight little adjustments here and there, and they sort of got the measure of us quite early on. I was a bit worried before the game about the ref, because the ref lives 9 miles from Edgeley Park, and that was a bit of a worry for me. And I was like, well,
how is that impartial?
Yeah, because he's really close.
Yeah.
He sort of put that to bed, though, the ref, quite early on. He gave them 2 yellow cards in the first 5 minutes.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe.
So people didn't think he was being biased.
Don't you worry here, I've got this.
I've got this, yeah.
And he did dish out a couple of yellow cards and sort of early doors. But like I say, I think it was even-ish for the first 20 minutes. So I think it was even. And then you could see them start to sort of come into the ascendancy a little bit. And then Louis Barry scored. I mean, it's all right. Decent goal. Curled one in. And that made it 1-0. I'm always worried when we go 1-0 down to someone like Stockport away from home.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure at the moment, from what I'm seeing, we've got it in our locker to pull it back. Look, last game we played against them was at home. We went 1-0 down. We ended up winning 2-1. So look, all wasn't lost at that point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
At that point. But I just don't think it was really it just didn't seem like it was working for me. They had their tails up after the goal. Everything good seemed to sort of come from them.
What the hell does that mean?
Their tails up?
Yeah.
Have you not heard that saying before?
No.
Google it.
No.
Not now, this second, but yeah, you got your tail up.
Happy, you mean? Buzzing?
No, not happy. Like you've got some momentum.
Okay.
I don't know where that...
I just think of a dog with its tail up.
No, I don't know where that comes from. I don't know where that comes from. It's like momentum, and you've got the upper hand, and you're sort of like, yeah, but it's a momentum thing.
Okay.
Unless I've just made it up.
No, you probably haven't. You're very clever with stuff like that.
No, yeah, maybe. You've thrown me now. Anyway. Look, Tom O'Connor made a bit of a mistake, didn't he? He was trying to let the ball run out. Collar had a shot. It was well saved. No, it wasn't well saved. It was blocked, and it went out for a corner. The resulting corner, Callum Burton made 2 decent, but sort of like a double save.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, I was quite happy. As I said before, I was quite happy with Callum Burton on the whole, I think.
Apart from when the goal went in, obviously. But I'm not sure he would have saved that
anyway. I
anyway.
don't think anyone could have done anything about that, if I'm perfectly honest. Before the game, we'd sort of highlighted Louis Barry as a bit of a danger man. During the game, turns out Louis Barry was the danger man. And then after the game, you look back and you go, maybe should have done a bit better with Louis Barry. I mean, it wasn't hard to look at that team and work out who was going to cause us the most problems.
Yeah.
Before, he scored 11 goals in league.
Top scorer, isn't he?
So in League One, he's come from a higher league. I think they've got him on loan. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he's at Villa. So just tapping you there. I don't know if he's at Villa or
I think I heard.
Is he at Villa? Yeah. So we've got him on loan at Villa.
We haven't.
Oh no, not us. Sorry, they've got him on loan from Villa, and I think it was a bit of a coup for him to get him again. They had him last season.
Oh right. Okay.
And yeah, he spent a little bit of his youth at Barcelona.
Ooh.
So yeah, it wasn't really a huge shock, really, that he was the danger man. But yeah, like I said, Callum Burton I was talking about, wasn't I? Yeah, I thought he made a few decent saves. I thought he did all right.
Do you know what I was shocked about?
Go on.
The fact, obviously, we've talked on previous episodes about Parky always having small man, big man up front. But obviously on Saturday, he had the Stockport game. He had obviously Mullin on the bench, and he had Bodvarsson and Bodvarsson. I do put a D in, don't I?
Yeah,
Bodvarsson. And Palmer up front. They are both 6'5", I believe.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I don't know.
I might be wrong, but I'm sure they're similar sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it was a bit of a weird one. It was a bit of a shock because, like I said, he doesn't usually go down that road, but there must have been, he's obviously wanting to try it out. And how did you feel it,
Didn't work.
No.
Simple.
Well, quite simply, we didn't score any goals, so yeah, it didn't work.
No, it just didn't work in general. It didn't. I think it was a clear... It sort of highlighted the way that we were going to play before a ball had been kicked, because it was quite obvious what we were doing early on. It was trying to get the ball up the pitch quickly.
Yep.
So what Parky's done, he's stuck 2 big men up there.
Yep. To
try and win the balls in the air, and then you've got your midfield running on to try and pick up the second ball off the knockdown from them too. I just felt like they were both trying to do the same job. There was a few instances where one or the other had flicked it on.
Yep.
And the other one wasn't running in behind to try and get it.
No.
There was loads of instances where they were way too close together, where they were within sort of like 6 feet of each other. There was a few instances where the ball went up in the air and they were both going towards it, and they spotted each other and they were just both trying to do the same thing. And it was so restrictive in having both of them on the pitch, because it was almost as if you just had one man up there, because they were both going towards the thing. And this is the point that I want to try and make about Mullin, is that I think for me, people underestimate so much how important his running is during a game. Forget the goals, all that sort of stuff. Forget the runs where he gets the ball. It's his work out of possession that creates so much space for other players. So he will run the channel and it will create space in behind. He will run. Everything that he does running wise. Sometimes people accuse him of being a little bit of a headless chicken. But for me, he makes such intelligent runs in the right areas that create a lot more space. And I think we missed that massively on Saturday. We missed we've missed his goals all season. So put that to one side for a minute. We just missed his running massively on Saturday. And yeah, for me,
the dynamic between Palmer and Mullin as well. They're obviously, they are a good partnership, and yeah, I think it was a bit disappointing that Parky decided to use Bodvarsson and
yeah, but like I said, it was very indicative of what we were going to do, because we played so many long balls early on, trying to pin them back a little bit and trying to attack them. They play with wing-backs who like to get forward. So when them wing-backs were getting forward and the play was breaking down, our tactic was get the ball forward quickly while their wing-backs are sort of stranded up top.
Yep.
And then we would potentially create more space. Look, I get it. I saw it. I understood it. It just didn't work. And it didn't work like that. So, yeah, I was a bit disappointed in the whole Palmer Bodvarsson thing, but
I don't think it'll happen again.
And I'm not. No, maybe not. I'm not sitting here going, "Oh, I told you so." But sort of, I knew it wouldn't work. I knew it wouldn't work. I didn't think it would work before we started.
Yeah.
I was sitting there going, I can't see this working. And it just didn't for me.
Again, it's like the Jack Marriott Mullin argument, isn't it? People are saying, "Oh, I'd love to see Marriott and Mullin start together." Again, they are both quite similar players, so I think you'd probably have the same issue. I do think it needs to stay with Palmer, Mullin, or Marriott, Palmer. So I think.
Yeah. One important thing from the rest of the half. Look, anything good going forward, really, hands up, came from Stockport. Just before half-time, another bit of a body blow. Cannon got his 5th yellow of the season. Just for anybody who doesn't know, that means he will miss our next league game. He's accumulated 5 yellow cards in the first 20 league games of the season. That means he gets suspended for 1 game, so he won't be available for the next game. But we've got Rathbone to come in, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think we started the second half quite brightly. But then we were back under the cosh again. And nothing felt like it was working for us on Saturday. I'll tell you one thing I've noticed. Last couple of games, I would say, definitely Mansfield and definitely on Saturday, I've noticed how George Dobson's passing's been poor. I'd go as far as to say crap on times. I mean, really, just like giving the ball away. He gave the ball away in a really key area against Mansfield, and that gave them a chance. Luckily, they didn't take it. But his passing's been really off recently, and it's something that I have been full of praise for him for, dynamic, forward-thinking passing. But it's for whatever reason, it just hasn't worked. And Saturday was another example of that for me.
You don't see. This is the thing. This is what we have to remember. We don't know what's going on. There could be something that's, Yeah. And I get that. Yes, he's getting paid to do a job, but there's something going on in your life. You're not going to put this. Unfortunately, your A game is just going to take a back seat.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
it could just be he was having a couple of off days. I don't know. We'll wait and see with Dobson. He's one of our good signings, I think, and he has proven himself.
Yeah, he is. So just needs to step it back up again.
Yeah, everybody has their off days, and possibly he's had a couple. So
yeah. wait and
We'll
see. Look, we made a triple sub. So we had Mullin, Rathbone and O'Connell on. Scar went off.
I was a bit shocked by Scar going off.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you make of that?
I thought Scar did really well. He was good, you know, as we all know, he's good in the air. You know, getting the balls and
getting the balls.
Yeah, so I was a bit shocked that he came off, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was a bit peeved as well. His face said it all when he was going off the pitch. I think he was a bit like, why am I going off? You know,
maybe. I think the only thing I can think of is O'Connell, for me, is better with the ball at his feet. So I think we'd sort of struggled playing out from the back. And I think that's more of a strength of Owen than it maybe is of Dan. So this is the only thing I could think of as to, you know, Parky wanted to be playing out from the back a little bit more instead of just launching the ball long. That's the only thing I could think of, but I don't really know. Our best chance probably fell...
You know, when you said Dan and Owen then, it's like, who the hell is he talking about? But then I realised you said their first names. Yeah, sorry.
Best chance probably fell to Elliot Lee, that header in the middle. He was
so
just
unlucky.
Look, if he was actually 5'11", like he keeps stating on his Wikipedia page and all the other stuff, he probably would have got it. It was just a bit too high for him, and he stretched, and he was, you know. Let's be honest, he's only 5'8" max, so he's, you know, it was just a bit too high for him. He put it wide. I think our first shot on target came in the 78th minute. Yeah. I mean, that's so poor. We had no shots on target in the first half or the first 70 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. It was just poor. We sort of came alive. We got a bit of a boost from the subs. Mullin started running, stretching them a little bit, and you know, and we started getting a little bit of joy.
Slightly when Mullin came on.
It did. It definitely did.
Which annoyed me a little bit because you think, oh, do you know what? Why couldn't we had him?
Yeah, but it's quite hard to say, because if you'd have started and done nothing, people would be going, why is he starting?
It's hard.
It is hard. It is difficult.
I feel sorry for Mullin, to be honest, at the moment, because he can't catch a break. Because like you said, if he came on, didn't score any goals, people are like, oh, he's not ready. But then, you know, if he comes on and scores a goal or does something on the pitch, everyone's like, oh, we should have started him. It's like, yeah, I feel sorry for him, and I really hope he gets his mojo back soon, because it must be so frustrating for him.
Yeah, it must be. You know, there's I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but it's just not working for him at the moment. We're going to get games like we had on Saturday. It isn't the end of the world. You know, we haven't won at Stockport for 10 years. This season was no different. You know, it's not like we've dropped off a cliff or it's the end of the world.
Didn't we win last season though?
No, we haven't won there for 10 years. So, yeah, so no, we lost 5-0 last season.
Oh yeah.
So
oh no, I'm thinking of Notts County, sorry.
Yeah. So look, it is what it is. Like I say, it's not the end of the world.
We're still third. We
are still third. Stockport are now only 1 point behind us in fourth. I think I was having a conversation with a few people sort of after the game. And for me, it was, you know, how do you sort of view it? Because for me, is it no risk, no reward? Because I don't think we took any risks. You know, even with the subs we made, they were like-for-like subs. We didn't switch anything up. For me, what I'd like to see happening a little bit more, Barney seemed quite pinned back, right? A lot of the time. He wasn't necessarily getting forward a lot. I would like to see Barney getting pushed up. And then I know that leaves space in behind, but you've got Max on the cover, and then you've got Andy, who likes to drift towards the right-hand side of midfield anyway. So I'd just like to see, because sometimes people are going, no, if we go 2 behind, then the game's over. For me, the game was over anyway,
so
because nothing was happening.
Yeah.
I think you don't always necessarily need to make a sub to make that change. For me, what Parky always does, when he goes 3 up front...
Parky out! I'm joking. I'm joking.
What Parky always seems to like doing, he wants to go 3 up front, so he puts 3 strikers on. Right, But that doesn't work for me, because you end up Mullin coming really deep or out wide. You don't need to make a sub to make that change. If you push Barney right up, he can become your third striker, somebody who's going to play out wide. And I think just leave him up there, and you've got your 3 up front. You don't have to make a sub. There's no sub needed to make that change.
Yeah.
So I think, is it, you know, it's that balance, isn't it? Is it no risk, no reward, or is it just keep plugging away? Because we just kept plugging away. They got a little bit leggy, and
we came into
it. So it is that
but
trying to find that balance.
Yeah, then.
I know. It is that balance of, is it no risk, no reward, or is it just keep going because our chances will come? I don't know what the answer.
Don't know.
Man of the match, Callum Burton.
I think a lot of people have said, yeah.
It's hard. It was hard to pick anyone else, really. You know, I don't think he had a chance with the goal. There was a few instances where maybe he came unpunched and sort of flapped a little bit, where I would have liked to seen him be a little bit more commanding. But he did what we asked, really. Like I say, I don't think many keepers were stopping Barry's goal. But the saves he made, you know, he did what we asked of him, and I don't think you could ask much more, to be honest.
I think the positives coming out of the Stockport game is we're still third. We have got, you know, we only lost by 1, where, you know, it could have been a lot more. Yeah,
we could have capitulated, to be honest, and I think maybe in previous seasons you're probably right. That may be what happened last season, and we ended up losing 5-0. But you know, maybe there is a positive.
We've got to think of the positives. It's done. It's gone. We will face Stockport at home next year, and yeah, we move on to the next game. So
look, a few comments to read out. Peter Langenecker said, "I mean, the lack of ideas the first hour was shocking." Yeah, maybe so. John Wells, tough opposition, to be fair. Was hoping for a 1-1. Looked and sounded like we were lucky to keep a low score. Deficit. Come on, you Reds. Next Saturday, they will right the wrongs.
I hope you're right.
Wally Hooson, he said, for 70 minutes we were dire. End of.
Very concise and to the point.
Yeah.
Owen Roberts, we're in safe hands with Callum Burton, but aside from that, I wouldn't be shocked if we see quite a few changes for Exeter. Yeah, I don't think so. No, I don't think there's going to be too many, to be fair.
No. Todd Cross, Burton played well, Dobson did not. Oh, and we need to make our limited chances count. If wishes were fishes, he said.
I don't even know what that means.
If wishes for fishes. It's just if we could wish for something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Super sub. Poop for 70 minutes. Callum Burton saved our blushes. There is a swear word in there, but I'm not going to say it because it's a family show. Paul M. Wrexham, can't expect to win games not turning up for the first 70 minutes.
Yeah, Matty Owen changed the game when we brought O'Connell on for Scar and started to play to feet. Can't see 2 big men up front together as a solution, personally. Robin, moments of brilliance, but sadly lacking overall. If they played more of the game like they did in the first 5 and last 10 minutes, we would have been 3 up. Yeah, maybe.
Ross Hicks, we were not very good. Spots Dad, the defence deserves some credit. In past seasons, with the pressure of Stockport today, this could have been a 6-0 game. Exactly.
Maybe. Neil Smith, how any Wrexham fan can enjoy watching that hoofball dross for the last 3 years. Yes, he has won games and promotion, but with the budget he should do. But if the club wants a higher...
wants to go higher.
Parky football is not going to do it. It is awful. I don't know who Neil Smith supports. He might be a Stockport fan. I'm not sure. Look, if you do want to get in touch, you can get in touch on Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or you can email us at wrexhamafc@gmail.com. Okay.
Let's talk about our Saturday game.
Yes.
Yes, Exeter.
Yes.
So we will be playing Exeter on Saturday the 23rd of November.
January?
Of November. Kick-off will be at 3 o'clock as normal. It's the first of 2 home games in 4 days at the racecourse.
Yeah.
So Exeter play in red and white stripes, but their away kit is blue.
Yeah, and black third kit.
Black third kit. So, yeah, they could play in any of those, except for the red and white, obviously.
Yeah.
Their nickname is the Grecians.
Yeah, that was kept. So when they first started, they were a merger of Exeter United and St Sidwell's. And St Sidwell's had the nickname the Grecians. It's a little bit confusing as to why they were called the Grecians, but the most likely story is St Sidwell's were based outside the city walls. So they took on the name of the Greeks, or the Grecians, as in the Greeks, the story of Troy and being outside the city and all that sort of thing. So I think that's where the nickname comes from. But,
So the last time we played them was a 1-0 defeat away in March 2003. And the last home game was a 4-0 win in September 2002.
So Exeter finished 13th in League One last season on 61 points. This is their third season in League One after promotion in 2022. They drew 0-0 with Lincoln on Saturday in the early game in League One. They're 9th on 23 points. They've won 7, drawn 2 and lost 5 this season. Top scorer this season is Cammy Doyle, who scored 3. And as we have obviously discussed already, Andy Cannon will miss this game due to
Ollie Rathbone
suspension.
will probably pop in his little spot.
I would guess so. Yes. Prediction.
Okay, let's have a think. I think I'm going to go, obviously, a Wrexham win. We're at home. We've had a defeat on the road. So I'm going to go 2-0 to Wrexham.
I think that's what I was going to go for. But I'm not going to now because you've done it. I think we need to start... I think we need a bit of a statement win, I think, don't we? We need to sort of put it right out there.
10-0.
I'm going to go 3-1 Wrexham.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't write them down because my phone's over there.
No, that's fine. Not a problem. Look, before we head into the quiz, a quick shout out for Dragon Chat. It's a mental health peer support group. They run 2 Zoom calls. One is on a Monday at 8 p.m. and that is for women. And one is on Thursday at 7 p.m. and that is for men. Best thing to do is to follow Steve Lloyd on Twitter. I don't know if he's got the same handle on Blue Sky, so I'm just going to throw it out there for X at the moment.
We'll make sure we've got that for next week.
Yeah, we will do. That's at Dragon Chat, WXMFC. Look, really good. All the details of how to get on them Zoom calls are down in the description if you want to do that. Really important.
Especially this time of year.
This time of year, now we're coming into Christmas. I'm quite lucky, so my head's fried at the moment because I'm just sort of sitting here staring at things for long periods of time. I'm lucky because I've got a good family around me, but people don't always have that. And sometimes you're thrust into situations that, where you're sitting on your own all day, every day, when you're used to being out and working. If you have an injury like I do and you're having to take time away from work and you're sitting on your own and you don't have anyone around, can massively sort of affect your mental health. So things like this are really important. Don't be afraid to jump on calls because you can. So I think you can go on via Zoom, and I think you can even hide your camera. And you can just sort of, just talk and listen and all that sort of stuff. Or send Steve a message and just say, look, I'd really like to come on, but I don't really want to talk and I don't really want to show my face. I'd just like to listen a little bit. And then if I feel comfortable, I'll jump on. Steve's great, and Steve will do whatever you need. Just have a chat with Steve if you're struggling, and he will help you out. Right, it's quiz time. I'm just going to take this off the stand to do the quiz. So are you ready?
I've lost my voice.
Oh, you have to type it then, won't you? Okay, are you ready?
No. I am ready, yes, I'm ready.
Question 1.
Okay.
Andy Morrell was missing from the commentary team for our game with Stockport, but why wasn't he there?
Was he playing in a charity game?
No, he wasn't. This is my passive-aggressive way of proving to you that you don't listen to what I'm saying. So we had a conversation about this on Saturday, right? And I told you why Andy Morrell wasn't on the commentary team. And I said to you, right, this is very passive-aggressive.
Very passive-aggressive.
And it feels like some sort of like therapy session live on a podcast, but this is getting done. And I said to you, I told you why Andy wasn't there, okay?
Right.
And you didn't answer me. And I said, are you listening? And you went, yeah, I heard what you said. And I went, oh, okay then. There's a question for the quiz.
No, I wasn't listening.
I know you weren't listening.
What was the answer?
It was his wife's birthday. It was his wife's birthday weekend. So he was doing something with his wife.
Oh.
There you go. So that was just my passive-aggressive question for the week. Okay? All right. Okay.
All right.
Now everyone knows what you like. Not just me.
I don't listen to him.
No, I know you don't.
Because he goes on too much.
Question 2. After the Stockport game, we watched Wales play Turkey in the Nations League.
Oh, for God's sake.
But what percentage of people in the UK ate turkey on Christmas Day last year?
What?
Is it 46, 56, 66 or 76%?
46.
It's not, it's 56, actually.
We didn't eat turkey last year.
We didn't.
No, we didn't.
So we're one of the 44%. Yeah, there we go. Question 3. There were only 5 games in League One on Saturday. But how many goals did them 5 games produce in total? Was it 3, 6, 10 or 12?
3.
It was 3, yeah. There was a couple of 0-0s. And then there was a
1-0.
A 1-0, yeah. And I think there was maybe a 1-1 in there. Yeah, it's only, so, no. I don't know. Yeah. So, yeah, well done. I don't know. Question 4. We play Exeter this Saturday. Which of the following facts is true? Number 1. Exeter City are the only English football club with 3 E's in their name. Question 2. Number 2, sorry, not question 2. Exeter play at St James's Park. It's called that as the owner at the time went to a Newcastle game at their St James's Park and liked the name. Or question 3. Exeter were the first ever club side to play a game against Brazil.
The St James's one.
St James's?
No.
No. Another stab. It's not the 3 E's. There's loads.
Colchester United.
Leeds United, Man United, Chesterfield, Leicester, Newcastle, Peterborough, QPR, Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, Tranmere, Wolves, Wickham.
Yeah, the Brazil one.
Yeah, well, you can't answer that now because
Why?
What do you mean, why? Because you've already got it wrong.
But you said you wouldn't have another stab at it.
Yeah, but then you didn't, so I moved on.
Well, yeah, because
No, it's the Brazil
This is
one.
why I don't listen to him, everybody.
It's the Brazil one.
I know.
Yeah.
I just said that, so
Yeah.
I'm having that.
No, you're not. Absolutely not. Question 5. Okay. There's bonus points available.
Okay.
Yeah? So this could help boost up your score because you're currently on
1.
0.
No, 1.
You're not having the Brazil one.
No, I got the last one right.
The Brazil one?
3.
3.
The goals.
Oh, you did. Yes.
Ah.
Sorry. Yes, you're not having the Brazil one. But yeah, so you've got 1. So there's 7 points available here.
Okay.
Okay, so you could get yourself back up to 5.
Okay.
Okay? Our game with Stockport on Saturday was repeatedly referred to as a derby. Our very own Mark Griffiths even used the D word at one point. But how many clubs in the Football League can you name that are closer to the racecourse than Edgeley Park? When I say Football League, I mean Premier League, Championship, League One and League Two. That's it. Okay?
So not like
Not
Chester.
the National League. Not Chester, no.
Shrewsbury.
Correct. Done.
Yeah, I'm done. Liverpool.
Correct.
Manchester United.
Incorrect.
Okay. Well, Manchester. I know that's in Salford, isn't it? Salford City.
No.
No. Tranmere.
Correct.
I can't think of places. My brain's just gone.
Get one more, and we can classify this as 5 out of 5.
Okay.
But you don't have forever.
Tranmere. Said Tranmere, haven't I?
You have, yeah.
Oh, balls. I can't think of places. I'm going to go Man City.
Incorrect. No.
Fleetwood. No, that's...
Incorrect. I think we're done.
Oh, Crewe.
You can have that. I'll give you that one.
Crewe.
5 out of 5. You can have that as 5 out of 5. Well done. The ones you missed, bizarrely, you said Liverpool, but you didn't say...
Everton.
Everton. Stoke.
Yep.
And Port Vale. Because you even asked me where Port Vale was, didn't you, the other day?
Wasn't listening.
No. I think we have found the pattern that you do not listen ever. Look.
That's why our marriage works, because I don't listen to you.
Yeah, maybe.
I switch off.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Look, thank you very much for joining us. I'm not going to promise I'm going to stop moaning about my back.
I hope
but
you do.
Look, we're getting there slowly. But it is what it is, unfortunately. So I'll give you another update next week of where we're at. I'm hoping, fingers crossed,
you'll be at the game on
to
Saturday.
be back at the racecourse on Saturday. I don't want to be missing another game. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But thanks very much for joining us this week. We hope you have a great week, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.